They walked for hours by clear moonlight, the underbrush and trees etched in the dead, pale blue light. His sister fell twice and scraped her knees. Their mother grew quiet. Dad turned and told him again to take care of the family. Then said it again. Then again. Alvaro nodded and said yes every time. But Dad forgot, or he wanted to make sure, or else he was so nervous he could only repeat himself. He said it, and he rubbed his son's back. Take care of the family. The smell of spearmint brightened the cool, wet air. Their shoes brushed the grass. The sound carried far into the night. An army helicopter whirred in the distance, but it did not follow them deeper into the mountainside. Either it never found their trail, or it did not care, or knew better. Decided that to follow would endanger civilians, like the trucker said. The trucker who also said that everything would be all right. They were not alone. In front of them and behind them were other families, a few lone men, a few shivering teenagers, the line of civilians flanked by guerrillas, some older and clearly in charge. The younger ones were younger than he was, men and women both, all wearing rubber boots and armbands, their bandanas no longer obscuring their faces, but bunched around their necks. Their faces flat as the moon, bored, blank, unperturbed, unalarmed. They stopped in the middle of the trail, the rut deep with the footsteps of strangers, and one of the men whistled, and someone else laughed, and one of the hostages ran in the blue light and was shot. Alvaro heard the shot before the man had fallen, and so didn't know if the man fell by accident, if he tripped just before the shot was fired, but someone leaned in and shot him again 2 times in the back of his head. The body twitched and lay still. He remembered his sister saying, "Poor thing." She looked at the body. She did not turn away, the body twitching still, and she said it softly, holding their mother's hand. The guerrillas told them to stay, to not move, to not run away. The men with the guns left the family and the other hostages in the middle of nowhere, where they waited, one of their own already dead, the poor thing, dead and nameless. There was no talk of leaving, no talk at all. The other men arrived within the hour. They came at the exact time that Alvaro thought, let's leave. Alvaro could have run. The whole family could have. They had time. But what if they were watched? They had been warned. The body lay still not too far from where they stood. The men and women and boys and girls gathered close, huddled in a cloud of their own breath, not talking. They shivered. They cried, but they made an effort to keep quiet. When the other men arrived, the whole group turned in unison.